Marvin Longland started the rare book department in the early 50s. And this is when the store was still on 4th Avenue. I think Marvin kind of pioneered it as a way to kind of handle some more esoteric material and, you know, process some things that, you know, the main store couldn't really handle.
Right.
So.
And have you noticed a shift in the last years in the culture of books with the advent of e-books and that kind of a thing? Maybe the fetish item of the book is like maybe making a comeback in a sense because of
vinyl
that.
Or
yeah. Do you notice that as
well,
far as
I mean, as far as I think there's never been a more exciting time in books and publishing, and I think there's more people talking about books. I think there's more people reading books in some form. There's more people consuming books, and I'm personally excited about it.
Oh, so will the rare book room ever have like an antique Kindle?
I think I think everybody kind of jokes about that. But I mean, there is what you referred to. You know, there is the idea that, you know, as more people start to read digitally and are raised reading digitally, that the traditional book does become more of a fetishized object. I mean, I think you might see a rise in the kind of the attachment people have to the object, and, you know, that's the new collectors that I think we're trying to encourage.
Now, as far as you know, the younger collectors that you see, is there something that you notice that they're collecting? Do they gravitate towards hyper-modern editions, or, you know, I mean, is there any particular genre that they're collecting?
No, I think it's all over the map. I mean, you know, as a young person, I think you are somehow, usually, to some degree, constrained by your budget. So you might not be after the $15,000 Alice in Wonderland right off the bat. Edition, complete stories of Flannery O'Connor.
Yeah.
$60. You know, great entry level
absolutely.
book for somebody who's interested in collecting. And I think most importantly, you know, is the adage, collect what you love.
Indeed.
I mean, one of the things that sets the price of an item is how many copies there are available. And I don't mean available in the marketplace, I mean available in general.
Right.
And in some cases, you've seen books that were once thought to be terribly scarce. All of a sudden, the internet has revealed how many copies there actually are. This right here is the limited editions club edition of James Joyce's Ulysses. And so this is done in 1935, and if you see, illustrations are by Matisse. And this copy in particular is special.
Oh.
Signed by both of them.
Yeah, that makes it quite special.
And there's 17 original lithographs throughout the book.
I heard a story about this book that Joyce wasn't very happy with the illustrations.
That is a very famous story among book selling circles. I think the story goes that, you know, when Joyce saw the book, he believed that Matisse had illustrated the wrong Ulysses, and that he had done illustrations for Homer, and so that so Joyce stopped signing the edition, and which is what makes this one so rare.
Wow.
The story may well be apocryphal, but, you know, we love our book-selling stories. Edward Gorey's first book. first edition in its jacket. It's $150. This was from a private collection we got from Connecticut. It's one of 3 works that Albrecht Dürer did at the end of his life on perspective and proportion. Special book in 17th century German binding. Albrecht Dürer applies the scientific method to these ideas of these artistic ideals of perspective and form, and you know, the Latin translation is the one that everybody would have understood in 1532, and it's the one that made its way throughout the continent of Europe and influenced thought for all time. Gabriel Wells' edition of the complete works of Mark Twain. So not only is it you know, the best edition, the most authentic edition, it's also signed on this tipped-in leaf by Samuel Clemens, both as Mark Twain and as Hal Clemens. We don't have time to price everything right as it comes in the door. It takes a lot of research to come up with a fair and reasonable price for an item. But it does lead to some incredible finds.
Is there any particular book that's a holy grail for you that you hope you find in the course of your career?
One of the things I learned early on is that it's enough for me to just handle the books, and you know, just to have them come through my hands and get to, you know, deal with them and experience them, and then to move them along to somebody else who's going to appreciate them. So, you know, I don't think there's any one object that I need to possess.
Yeah, yeah. All right, fair enough. Thank you very
Very
much.
good.
Yeah, thanks.